You're watching the GetUp Show.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the show. You already know who it is. It's your host with the most, Sendez Daiti, back with another video, another special video, very special video. And today we're going to be going into, once again, the LA fires. But there's a reason why I'm doing this. We're going to be exploring the reasons why, the reasons behind this fire. Some people might think it's a natural phenomenon, but I think it's something much more than that. So stay tuned for that. But before we get into this, a few announcements. I'd like for you all to like this video so that it helps people like you find content like this much easier, and also subscribe so that you can find these videos later on when we go live. And before we get into the show, let's introduce ourselves, shall we?
You're watching the GetUp Show.
So, first things first, we've got a few clips on Instagram that we're going to be looking at just to show you the not so natural side of this fire, because I think it's not natural at all. Like, I feel like this is a little bit supernatural. But let me show you what I mean. This says that, I'm not sure if you could see it here. Let me go here just to make sure you can see it. You can see it. You can see it. $100 million house about to be taken by the LA fire. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, I'm gonna have to switch this to this monitor, my other monitor, my bad. So, do you see the size of this house right here? Do you see the size of this house? So, there's gonna be people out there that think this is a natural phenomenon. And of course, it could be seen as that. But I think there's something much more going on here. I feel like this is almost like an act of God going on here. It's an act of God. And there's going to be a reason why I bring this up. And if you've noticed the thumbnail, I've added the story of Sodom and Gomorrah on there. If none of you are familiar with the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, Sodom and Gomorrah is an ancient biblical city that was burned down to the ground with fire and brimstone, right? With fire and brimstone, God burned it down to punish the people for their misdeeds, their wickedness, their blasphemy, or whatever other biblical term you want to use for the bullshit. And I feel like that's what we're seeing here. Like, we're seeing the biblical city of Sodom or Gomorrah, or multiple cities actually in this case, of Sodom and Gomorrah, because Palisades burnt down and downtown LA burnt down, and these are like subsections within the town or the borough of Los Angeles. So these fires start springing up everywhere, and it's almost as an act of God that even man is not able to put them out, right? When we're supposed to be like the archetype of God's image, with his knowledge, with his image, with so on and so forth. But why are we not able to, if we are in God's image, able to rid the world of this chaos? Because it's an act of God. God wanted you all to see, and I'm not trying to preach the Holy Bible to you all. I'm just giving you all a lesson, okay? I'm just giving you all a quick lesson on what may be going on. But add your thoughts in these comments below, just so we can share our thoughts around this situation, because I'm interested to know what your thoughts are about it. Why is this? What is this? What's this extra thing back down here? What's this extra thing? What is this? Sorry about that, folks. I'm just trying to figure out what this little snippet in the thing is. Why is this still here? Alright, sorry about that. Remove this. Not sure why I was showing that. Subs. Remove. A lot of things. I'm gonna have to update this format. But anyway, that's besides the case. So let's take a look at some of these comments for this post. So sad. Where is this? West Hollywood? Is this what people meant by tax the rich? How is insurance gonna cover this? Jealous sheep. Very, very few of the homes destroyed had fire insurance, including the expensive ones. Jesus Christ. First of all, you're living in a very dry, arid place. It's almost as if, like, if you're gonna move to a place that floods, you're gonna expect to have flood insurance, right? And you never want to be caught in the moment where you need the flood insurance and you don't have it. So, like, it's on you. Like, but at the end of the day, what's the reason that these people need these insurances, the fire insurance? Like, they knew things like this could happen. But the precautions to keep these from happening and keep it from getting worse were not there. Like, excuse me. I feel like if these people know that fires could spring up this easily, like, how aren't there better ways to combat these fires? Like, especially they've been happening every year, so it's not like this is something brand new. From CEOs to this, damn, it's been months. How is insurance gonna cover all this? Funny thing is, some insurances actually pulled out before these fires started occurring. They pulled out. They drop people's cases, or they drop people's policies. Let's take a look. LA fires and fires insurance coverage. The threat of massive and profoundly destructive wildfires poses a significant and immediate problem. Commissioner moves to protect insurance coverage. How many who lost homes in fires? Okay. For many who lost homes in Los Angeles fires, insurance won't cover the entire cost of rebuilding. So let me change it to this one. Robert Kovarob BS, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that last name, and his family of 6 have lived in Altadena, California for 10 years. Their American dream had 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and 2,400 square feet. That sounds like a lot of space. But disaster struck when the Eaton fire swept through their neighborhood. Virtually everything the family owned has settled into heaps of ash. Now they're facing a second disaster, a financial disaster. You're underinsured when it comes to the policy. There's clearly not going to be enough to make you whole again, said Alex Traslavina, a state-insured independent insurance adjuster hired by fire victims to negotiate with insurance companies. So, insurance adjuster, independent insurance adjuster, which is hired by, probably these homeowners to try to negotiate with the insurance company that they signed with, right? That they had a policy with this whole time. Now they have to hire someone else to negotiate on their behalf because the insurance aren't trying to pay. Although Covarrubias says homeowners insurance policy covers more than $1 million in losses, it won't be enough. It's not $1 million isn't enough? Shit, give that to me. Based off your numbers, it's anywhere between 500,000 to 1 million short of what he actually needs, either to rebuild his home or find a new one in California, because they're expensive. So Transylvania estimates that many of the residents who lost their homes in the Los Angeles area fires are underinsured, meaning the total cost of rebuilding will outpace what their insurance policies can afford them. So instead of 1 million, someone might get 200,000 to 100,000. Can't rebuild a multi-million-dollar home that way, can you? For some victims, the loss is both total and totally out of pocket. Nationally, 12% of American homeowners have no home insurance. Jesus Christ. According to the Insurance Information Institute, with premiums soaring, many of them dropped their coverage. Damn, because they can't afford it due to where the economy's heading. Like, some people just can't afford the insurance. And I've been in that situation with car insurance before. I'd much rather just drive the car, be able to do what I need to do instead of paying the insurance. But at the end of the day, it comes back to bite you in the ass when you need it. With premiums soaring, many of them dropped their coverage, rolled the dice, and lost big in the disaster. Now their house burned down with no insurance and no coverage. That is the small chance that they actually needed it. I don't think most Americans understand that they're uninsured, said Dr. Jeremy Porter, who studies property values after natural disasters for nonprofit First Street. I think they see it as something they have to have, just insurance, but they don't understand that the type of policy matters. I learned this after getting commercial insurance. Turns out you need a specific type of insurance to work in specific types of places. Like, for example, if you wanted to work with Amazon, with their freight partnership, their Amazon Freight or their Amazon Relay platforms, you need a specific type of insurance, $1 million insurance coverage to be able to drive for them. And it covers specific things that a normal commercial insurance wouldn't cover. So after Colorado's Marshall Fire in 2021, a roughly $2 billion disaster, an estimated 3/4 of victims discovered they were uninsured. 3/4, that's a lot of people. If your home is completely destroyed, it's very difficult for most insurance policies to cover the complete rebuild of the property. So there's a second layer of re-victimization, Porter said. That's where Columbus finds himself. His savings now compete with $1 million in uninsured losses, his savings. So now he's gonna have to foot the bill out of pocket. still he's determined to rebuild. He still wants that home. What does he want the home in the same place, bro? Because I guess he's not going to learn from that lesson. We're going to rebuild here. The property is worth it until it burns down again. The place is worth it. If Rome was burned, how many times did they rebuild? We'll rebuild Altadena. Yeah, I mean, that's what they need to do. They shouldn't leave it now, because who else is going to come in? The Chinese are going to come in and start buying up the properties? Nah. So I understand where they're coming from. It's just damn, like, what do you do in that situation? What do you do in that situation, like? What are your thoughts on that one, folks? What are your thoughts on that one? What you thinking? What you thinking, folks? What you thinking? But let's take a look at this next clip to show you why this might be more than a natural disaster.
Speeches have been on fire. Who got shouted out the most?
Actually, I'm gonna leave this one for later on, because this is going to speak exactly why I mean it's more than just a natural disaster. Because this has been coming for a long time, bro.
Altadena Old Town. Sorry. It's gone. I mean, same as gun that'll hit me in a while. You know, it took my wife and I almost 40 years to put it together, but it's the way it is, so we'll go on.
I'm sorry, but look at the look on this man's face, bro. Like, this, first of all, the eyes look crazy. Like, this might be an act of God right here, just the eyes alone. But this might be one of the angels or the demons. I don't know. But either way, like, this man has been working. He's been faithful. He's been diligently working. But he was in the wrong city when it happened. If you all know about the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, it didn't matter if you were for God or against. If you were still in that city, you burned along with it. Sodom and Gomorrah. And for those who didn't believe and stayed behind or looked back when God told them not to look back, or Jesus says, okay, let me take a look at this. I'm about to show y'all what I mean here. The Bible verses that mention Sodom and Gomorrah are Matthew 10, 14 to 15, Genesis 18 to 19, and Ezekiel 16, verse 49. Matthew 10, verse 14 to 15 states, in this verse, Jesus says that, in this paraphrase by Google AI. So, bear with me here. It might not be direct translation, but just bear with me. Jesus says that the land of Sodom and Gomorrah will be more tolerable on the day of judgment than a city that refuses to welcome his disciples. Says the land of Sodom and Gomorrah will be more tolerable when it's burning. On the day of judgment, it'll be more tolerable on the day of judgment than any other city that refuses to welcome his disciples, which is Jesus' disciples, the believers, than any other city that refuses to welcome his disciples. the burning city will be more tolerable on the day that it is burning. So Sodom and Gomorrah were so unscrupulous, so blasphemous, so blatantly wicked, these cities were, that even while burning, they're more tolerable than a city that refuses to welcome his disciples. Okay, that's just one. That's Matthew. That's Matthew verse 10. That's Matthew chapter 10, verse 14 to 15. So Genesis chapters 18 to 19 go on and say the story of Sodom and Gomorrah is told. The story includes Abraham's hospitality to 3 visitors, including the Lord, and the destruction of... includes the hospitality of 3 visitors, includes the Lord and the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah by God. I thought it was going to go more into that. So Genesis 19... Boom, boom, MIT. He looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward all the land. Okay. He looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward all the land of the plain, and he saw dense smoke rising from the land, like smoke from a furnace. So when God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham, and he brought Lot out of the catastrophe that overthrew the cities where Lot had lived. Lot and his 2 daughters left Zoar and settled in the mountains, for he was afraid to stay in Zoar. And he and his 2 daughters lived in a cave. One day the older daughter said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there is no man around here to lie with us, as is the custom all over the earth. Let's get our father to drink wine and then lie with him, and preserve our family line through our father." Jesus Christ. They're talking about incest. That night they got their father to drink wine. The older daughter went in and lay with him. Jesus Christ. Unscrupulous, even in the cave. He was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. The next day the older daughter said to the younger, "Last night I lay with my father. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight, and you go in and lie with him so we can preserve our family line through our father." So they got their father to drink wine that night also, and the younger daughter went and lay with him. Again, he was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. So both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by the father. Jesus Christ. The older daughter had a son, and she named him Moab. He is the father of Moabites of today. The younger daughter also had a son. She named him Benjamin. He is the father of Ammonites of today. I'm not sure why that one was there. I'm not sure. Okay, Genesis 19. The 2 angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. "My lords," he said, "please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night, and then go on your way early in the morning." "No," he answered, "we will spend the night in the square." But he insisted. "My lords," he said, "please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night, and then go on your way early in the morning." "No," he answered, "we will spend the night in the square." But he insisted so strongly that they did go with him and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast, and they ate. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. They called to Lot, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them." What the hell? Wait, all the men from part of the city? Where are the men who came to you? See? Hey, Julie Ray, I'm not interested, all right? Don't start promoting stuff in my chat. In my chat. I'd really appreciate that. Or else you're gonna be banned. Or else you're gonna be banned. And Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind them and said, "No, my friends, don't do this wicked thing." That shit is blasphemous. And you can see it all throughout California. That blasphemous, those blasphemous acts. Look, I have 2 daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you and you can do what you like with them. Jesus Christ, what kind of father is this? But don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof. Get out of our way, they replied, and they said, "This fellow came here as an alien. Now he wants to play the judge. We'll treat you worse than them." They kept bringing pressure on Lot and moved forward to break the door down. But the men inside reached out and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house, young and old, with blindness, so that they could not find the door. The 2 men said to Lot, "Do you have anyone else here, sons-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we are going to destroy this place, this blasphemous city." The outcry to the Lord against its people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. The outcry to the Lord against its people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, "Hurry and get out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city." But his sons-in-law thought he was joking. They didn't believe him. With the coming of dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, "Hurry, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away when the city is punished." See, good and bad will be punished in this burning city. When he hesitated, the men grasped his hand and the hands of his wife and of his 2 daughters and led them safely out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to them. He gave them time to escape. As soon as they had brought them out, one of them said, "Flee for your lives. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you will be swept away." But Lot said to them, "No, my lords, please. Your servant has found favor in your eyes, and you have shown great kindness to me in sparing my life. But I can't flee to the mountains. This disaster will overtake me and I'll die. Look, here is a town near enough to run to, and it is small. Let me flee to it. It is very small, isn't it? Then my life will be spared." He said to him, "Very well, I will grant this request too. I will not overthrow the town you speak of. But flee there quickly, because I cannot do anything until you reach it." That is why the town was called Zor. By the time Lot reached Zor, the sun had risen over the land. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah. Burning sulfur he rained down on them from the Lord out of the heavens. Thus he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, which he told them not to stay in, including all those living in the cities, and also the vegetation in the land. So they can't survive. They will die of starvation. They will succumb to their injuries of the fires and fire and brimstone, or they will just succumb to the fire altogether. Succumb to the effects of the fire, which is loss of a home, exposure to the elements, and so on and so forth. But also the vegetation in the land will be burnt, will be destroyed. So now they've got no way to feed themselves, just like the California fires. But Lot's So thus he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, including all those living in the cities and also the vegetation in the land. However, Lot's wife looked back and she became a pillar of salt. She became salty. That she looked back and saw Sodom and Gomorrah burning when they told her not to look back. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and returned to the place where he had stood before the Lord. He looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward all the land of the plain, and he saw dense smoke rising from the land like smoke from a furnace. And that's where we are caught up. So when we look at this man who it seems like he's been diligent through all these years. For 40 years he's been building this museum of this art museum for bunnies with his wife. He seems like a good man. But when the warnings came, he did not heed the warnings. He stayed in the city of Gomorrah, and thus, as a result, he lost his 40-year investment.
All of the old town.
Owner reacts to Altadena Bunny Museum burning in the Eaton fire.
The iconic Altadena Old Town. Sorry. It's gone. Our museum is gone. That'll hit me in a while. You know, it took my wife and I almost 40 years to put it together, but it's the way it is, so we'll go on. All of the old town.
That's disheartening, folks. Especially when it could have been avoided by not being a blasphemous city. And I know it's easy to say don't be a blasphemous city. But when you see stuff like this, you have to find a different way outside of the blasphemy. You have to find a different way outside of the blasphemy. Let's take a look at some of these comments though. So, KCal News, Steve Labansky, co-owner of the Bunny Museum in Altadena, is devastated after the beloved collection of bunny artifacts was destroyed by the Eaton fire Wednesday. While Labansky and his wife were able to save their pets and a few items, the building and their collection, that's probably millions of dollars worth of items in there, bro. And the collection, which they say took 40 years to collect, was completely consumed by the flames. The museum was open for 26 years and dubbed itself as the world's only museum about everything bunny. It had a trademark, the world's only museum about everything bunny, is gone. Now, this is similar to this. Thus he overthrew this. So then the Lord rained down burning sulfur onto Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out. From the Lord. This is a unnatural phenomenon from the Lord out of the heavens. Because people don't know how these fires started. It just caught fire one day, caught wind. Thus he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, which is those hills, all those plains, all those farms that are being burned. That's the plain, including all those living in the cities. That's some of the people who didn't make it out, who didn't even know to leave, who didn't get a warning in time. Because there are some people who didn't even, who, like, their cities. Dude, I'm about to block you, bro. I don't want your portfolio. I don't want your logos, banners, overlay. I don't want that shit, bro. I already have my whole stream, bro. I don't need it. Thus he overthrew those cities and the entire plan, including all those living in the cities and also the vegetation in the land. And next, I'm about to show you this. I'm about to show you this here. We're all gonna feel it. Truck drivers' viral video blames produce shortages on immigration raids. Alright, yeah, never mind. That was something else. But I literally just saw. Yeah, here it is. No, that's not it.
Speeches have
No, that's not it either. No. I could have sworn I just saw it. No.
Fuck eucalyptus.
I don't know. I literally just saw it here somewhere. Bear with me, folks. I was looking for something here. I thought I saved it, but apparently I didn't. But what I was seeing was there were tons of migrants or whoever they were. They were trying to save a farm, like save what was left from this farm. So they were just picking whatever was left on the farm before the fire engulfed it. Before the fire engulfed it, they were trying to just save whatever they can. And that is exactly what they're trying to prevent, which is also the vegetation in the land was engulfed by the burning sulfur, by the fire and brimstone. It was taken over. It was taken over, folks. It was taken over. But let's take a look at this one. That explains why this is more than just a natural phenomena. Because at the same time you're getting these fires, you're also getting all of these other storms. Take a look. You see that, right, folks? You see that, right, folks? Like, do you see this right here? This is like, do you still think it's a natural disaster? Now, like, alongside the fire, you're getting cyclones and tornadoes. Adding insult to injury right now. Which I think it's possible for some of the embers to be carried by the wind of that storm right here. Because if you think about it, some people were catching fires. Some people are finding fires where the fire wasn't even near. So you already know some of these fire particles are being carried by the wind.
How the fuck does that even happen? Bro. How the fuck does that
Alright, I'm about to block you, Julie. I'm about to block you. Thank you. Alright, that's enough of that.
even happen? Bro.
No
How the fuck does
soliciting.
that even happen?
No soliciting, alright? If I didn't ask for these services that you're offering, I don't want it. If I didn't look it up or find it on the internet on my own doing, I don't want it, alright? No soliciting.
Bro.
And I'm not saying I'm not down to work with people, but come on, bro. I'm trying to do a stream right now and you're offering services. Like, like nah.
How the fuck does that even happen?
So yeah, like embers could travel through wind. Embers could travel through wind. Let's take a look at some of these comments though. Someone mentioned it happened through Bluetooth, wireless. Heat embers, dryness. Do people have educations anymore? Yeah, but not everyone understands why heat transfers, how heat transfers. Why the trees still standing but the houses burnt down? Dryness my ass. Y'all know what happened. Trump University graduates. They think it's lasers. I'm really hoping this makes a lot of people rethink planting non-native palms instead of oaks. I mean, that's what happens when people choose aesthetics. When people choose aesthetics, that's what happens. That's what happens, folks. Wind and sparks and heat. Yeah, it carries through the wind. It carries through the wind. I understand your perspective, but this man is a Californian conservativist. Conservationist. He's talking about why it's on fire. They'll still burn. This happens with oaks easily as well. This isn't an issue at all. Just saying, and I'm against non-native species like mustard. That really is the problem. And foreign grasses brought by European colonists. Literally, palms are no threat. It's humans and the government that's the threat. It's only when they plant them near a power line, but again, that's people. And then this will happen to most trees, especially with a winter of zero rain. Embers can fly for a while, and the land in bushes, trees of all kinds, and light right up, especially in a dry winter. Oak light up way faster as well. The oils in the leaves are crazy flammable and go up very fast, even when green. I know this because I helped put in oak trees out. So that was the reason for this fire to be untamable. Winds with over 70 miles per hour had the fire jump around for over a mile. Yeah, and that was the hardest. That's what made it harder for firefighters and such to contain this fire, because the fire was just spreading way quicker than they could contain it. Like, that was the real issue. That was the real issue. But let's take a look at some other people who went through this situation. Let's look at the comments for the tornado one. because I'm interested to see what they thought about that one. So, fire. Remember, fire season has officially started early and aggressive in California. Five raging fires are taking places in LA County. So Los Angeles is a county, not a city. Mother Nature had her own plan for this fire. Just outside of the Eden Fire Brush, Los Angeles County, you can see two fire tornadoes forming. Rare phenomena you don't see often in nature, because it's not natural, right? You don't see it often. You don't see it often in nature. But why is this the moment that you see it? When all of these cities are burning to the ground, especially in a dense hilltop. As of now, there's been 5 major wildfires in the state of California. 34,000 acres burned. 1,300 structures damaged or destroyed. 400,000 total emergency responses and 3 fatalities. Only 3? I've heard multiple over the span of this thing. Multiple. And this was edited 2 weeks ago. So, hey man, this is more than what it seems. I feel like this is not, it's no longer natural, like it's crossed into supernatural. Because now let's take a look at this. Fire and brimstone. The entire hill is on fire. The plane, this is the plane they were talking about. They were speaking of in Genesis 19. Don't stand in the plains because they too will catch fire. And as you can see, the plains are on fire, baby. The plains are on fire. And the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, it's not like an entire area. It's a couple of cities. So Los Angeles County is a collection of cities. So 5 fires spanning over the entire county or a few parts of the county. That's alarming. And as you know, some of these parts were very affluent areas. You know, it might be people with influence there. It might be people with long-time business connections running the shows behind the scenes there. Hey, man. God's been winding up his hand for a while. And he finally chucked the rock towards Los Angeles. He was ready. He was winding up. God was winding up and took a shot. That's insane. That is insane, good buddy. That is insane, good buddy. That is insane.
New wildfires have erupted in Southern California. More danger for a region in desperate need of a break. Firefighters are making progress against the Hughes fire, which is burning about 45 miles north of Los Angeles. It has torn through more than 10,000 acres and sent tens of thousands of people scrambling from their homes. Right now, at least 8 fires are burning in the area. That's including the Palisades and Eaton fires that killed at least 28 people and destroyed thousands of homes and businesses. The threat of strong winds that fuel these fires is not over. And while there is finally rain in the forecast, that brings another
rain in the forecast.
CBS's Jonathan Bigliotti leads us.
So when the savior comes in, which is rain, there's another disaster that comes with it. Mudslides. You guys are getting the shit end of the stick on this one. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's like one after the other. Like, you guys are just getting fucked royally with this thing. Like, is there anything we can do to like solve this right now outside of just letting the fires do what they do? Like, everybody should just evacuate the entirety of California and just go to Nevada or something like that. Everyone just go east. You know, everyone just go east till these fires burn themselves out. Then you go back to the ashes and rebuild anew. At least this time with better infrastructure, so you don't have to get burned down to the ground again. Excuse me. I had eaten earlier, so I'm just getting gas. Sorry about that. Sorry you have to hear that. But, like, what do y'all think? But before that, I'd like for you all to like the video, because I'm going to give you one more time to like the video, because it's been a long time coming before I asked again. I need you to like the video so more people could find these videos just like you. And I don't know why I always ask that. People just start tuning off. But I need y'all to like the video. Subscribe as well so you could find more videos like these if you're enjoying the content.
The fire zone.
In fire-weary Southern California, another wildfire broke out in Ventura County, 50 miles northwest of downtown LA, near farms and a college campus. While another scare last night, fire racing up a hillside near the exclusive community of Bel Air, threatening homes before crews gained the upper.
Exclusive community of Bel Air. So, do you know where Bel Air is? Bel Air is Bel Air, California. From what I've heard from, you know, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, that's a very affluent community. Residential neighborhood in Los Angeles, California. The residentials is catching fire now. The residentials. Oh my God. Look at this house, good buddy. Wait, can y'all see it? Look at this house, good buddy. Nobody. Look at this house, bro. This is Bel Air. This is Bel Air. Look at these houses. Look at these hills. They're living in the hills, and you're telling me they're about to catch fire, good buddy? Sunset Boulevard. But anyway.
Hand.
Your people are in trouble, man.
The bigger concern, this fire near Castaic, still burning through dry brush. Residents already on edge from weeks of warnings had to scramble to safety. Adanya Perez was among the 30,000 newest evacuees.
My brother just lost his home over in Altadena fire, and now I'm like, oh my God. Now it's my turn.
While residents here got prompt evacuation warnings,
Altadena,
for thousands in
Bel Air.
Altadena, early on the morning of January 8th, at the height of the devastating Eaton fire,
I didn't get any alerts. I woke up on pure
Palisades.
vibes.
Florence Kearns Wilson is among
It's
many
going city to
demanding
city,
answers.
bro. It's going from city
no
to city.
Official warning, no official order issued. It was just go, go, go.
Yeah, and some people succumbed. Even the good people succumbed. It says this video caption right under here where this blue strip is, it literally says Altadena residents outraged over late evacuation warnings. So some people weren't even warned in time to start gathering their things and leaving.
For you at 4 a.m.
Yeah, and it was very just like neighbors taking care of each other because no one else would tell us what to do.
And I see this comment by Kesey King. What's up, homie? I just gave you a follow. I'd appreciate if you follow back. If you're gonna follow, just follow. Like you shouldn't expect me to return that favor, stop my stream, and then look for your name and follow. Nah, bro. Like, I'm not about to do that.
All 17 who died in the fire were residents of West Altadena, where evacuation warnings came too late or not at all.
There are a lot of other people that were not safe, and they could have been.
A lot of frustration.
A lot of people who were not safe when they could have been. Those are the good people who were not warned that Sodom and Gomorrah is about to catch fire and brimstone. He said, the scripture said in Genesis 19, good and bad, if they stay in the city, will perish. Doesn't that sound familiar to this, what she just said?
There are a lot of other people that were not safe, and they could have been.
There were a lot of other people who were not safe, and they could have been. They could have been safe if they got word soon enough and fled the city of Sodom and Gomorrah.
A lot of frustration, and now tonight, a new fear. Residents are bracing for rain and the threat of mudslides. That threat, though, is this weekend. Nora, the current threat is all of this high wind. Red flag warnings remain in effect through tonight.
So there's high wind that's carrying the embers miles from the fires. It's carrying the embers, the fire and the brimstone from the fire miles away through the wind, right? 70-mile-per-hour winds, right? Now let's take a look at this next clip. This next clip of the wind. Take a look. It's ironic how they put this is the apocalypse. We just evacuated and left LA from the fire, but saw the wind flipped a bunch of trucks on the freeway. The freaking trucks aren't even safe, bro. The trucks aren't even safe. Look.
Every truck has been blown
flipped over.
Shit,
Every truck with a flatbed is in trouble. And for those of you who don't understand how wind works with it, when it hits a large surface area, is that it pushes, and I used to experience this while driving for Enterprise when we had vans. We would drive the vans, or Amazon actually, or both. I would feel it on both. We'd be driving the vans on some like bridge, right? And there's no buildings on bridges. It's just open. So you get hit with the wind pretty hard. You would feel, the van rocking back and forth. You could just drive straight. You would feel the van being pushed over by the wind. And that's just a van. A van that's what, like 28 feet long or something? 20 feet long? 15 feet long? You've got a flatbed that's like a good 100 feet or something long. That's this tall, getting pelted by the wind. Oh yeah, it's gonna flip over. That's why some trailers have holes in them, like those plastic trailers with those plastic flatbed trailers with the holes going through them. It's to allow that air to go straight through without flipping the thing over.
Oh my god.
But as you could see, these trucks didn't have that.
Holy fuck, there's trucks everywhere lying sideways.
And they're all looking
everywhere.
the same. It looks almost as if like an unnatural occurrence. Like, it's just too unnatural about it. It's something unnatural about it. Something supernatural
Everywhere.
about it. It's like saying, oh yeah, y'all were trying to leave? Nope. Y'all staying right here.
Holy fuck. Are these people okay?
Like, it's
Everyone.
like, because you see how these people are driving away from LA, right? Think about all of the cars that couldn't make it out, right? And I'm gonna show you this post right here. Think about all the cars that just couldn't make it out. Like, because it's like almost an act of God that's keeping all of these people here. It's trying to keep them and trap them into this burning city. It's trying to keep them from escaping. Because it knows, like, somewhere deep down inside, it knows some of these people are wicked, bro. They're wicked, and my prayers and heart goes out to them, but maybe there's something to be told about this specific city, about this LA County, about the influence it has that's more than just the natural. Like, maybe there it has something to do with it. Maybe it has something to do with it. That's insane, ain't it? It's insane, ain't it? Because now when you look to see how the people are reacting, this is how they're reacting. Los Angeles landlords are reportedly raising rates by as much as 124% after the wildfires. So now, when you know people are looking for new places to live after their homes have been burnt down to the freaking ground, you're about to skyrocket rents. You're about to raise rents by not just a few percentages. You're about to raise rents by more than 100%. So if you were paying $2,000 for one bedroom, get ready to just start paying around $4,000, $3,000 to $4,000. And it says not 100%, 124%. And I thought landlords were only able to raise rents by 13% year over year. How is it even legally possible for this to happen? Let's take a look at some of these comments though. One thing is for certain. One thing people are going to do is profit off of another person's pain, just evil. And that's where they reside. They reside in this same burning city. The same burning city that they're willing to extort. Part of me just hopes that that part burns down again. I just started to look at moving there, but what if it happens again? What if? Do you have the money to pay $7,000 per month rent? I don't know why you would even think about moving there. Out of all states, you chose the most expensive right now. Like, bro, it's literally burning down. You sure you want to move it right now? Move there right now, bro. Are you sure? It's gonna happen regardless of the wildfires. Like, not risking it. That's illegal and it's supposed to be reported. Illegal, I'm sure. Damn. Not all landlords making us look bad. Savages, how American. So rent finna be $6,000 for a box. Facts. It's about to be like New York, or worse. They can only do this if the lease expires. They have other laws. So if someone new comes in, they can, instead of charging you $2,000, they can charge you $4,000. That's crazy. What the fuck, folks can't afford that much rent? Maybe you can't. Someone's gonna pay that $4,000 if their house has just been burnt down to a freaking crisp. $4,000 for a studio, I'm good. I know, right? $4,000 is a mortgage anywhere else. That is a mortgage and you are paid off. Like, that's a mortgage anywhere else where you've paid off the mortgage, you've paid all utilities, and you've paid all expenses and maintenance. That's where that $4,000 is going, and you're gonna pay for it for one apartment in Los Angeles. Gone. Like, think about that. I mean, unless you can afford it, like you're making double or twice that or more than that per month or per week, I'm sure you can do it. To you, it's probably a drop in the bucket, but to most people, $4,000 for a studio, that's a lot. They need to either go to jail now or the people need to run them out by any means necessary. Enough is enough. That's not gonna happen. They trying to get that rent back from COVID. Rent will be 24 days late. Jesus Christ. And then you gonna be on your booty. Just like the rest of the homeless folks in LA. Disrespectful as AF. The whole LA moving to New York. That's what I'm saying. They're about to start moving east. So get ready, everybody. There's finna be a whole new market coming. Rent and mortgage finna skyrocket. Supply and demand. Finance 101. The planned fire to usher in the smart city. Let's take a look here. But yeah, folks, that's gonna be the show today. That's gonna be today's show. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm giving you one more time to like this video. I'm gonna give you one more time to like this video before we end this stream. I need you to help me get this video to 5 to 10 likes. And I know I'm only mentioning 5 to 10 because I know y'all can do more than that, but I'm only asking for 5 to 10. And subscribe. But I'm Sendez Daiti. This is the GetUp Show. And we're out of here. We're out. Deuces.
You're watching the GetUp Show.